Welcome to the May 17th, 2023 Berlin Conservation Commission meeting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so fried. Okay, getting right to the agenda.
We're gonna read that thing.
The minutes came out kind of late in the day today. Did anybody get a chance to read them?
Mm-hmm. I read them.
I read them.
So that's enough
Yeah.
of us that we can vote. You spelled my name wrong in one of the paragraphs. The
Oh.
paragraph above it, you spelled it right? The paragraph below.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I think the computer did that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was like 5-2B or something like that.
Mhm.
So as long as you guys change that, it's
Okay.
the only correction I have. All right, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from April 9th? No, from
May
May 8th.
So
Yeah,
moved.
just-
5th? The last meeting.
Yeah, so moved.
Yeah.
I second that.
Thank you.
Mm.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we got minutes.
Somebody just came in.
No treasurer's report. You do have a bill?
Do have a bill from KP Law. Alright, so we actually have a couple bills from the KP Law. One was apparently we missed back in December for horseshoe pond stuff. That's in the amount of like $2,027.11.
So we didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Somebody missed getting
Yeah.
it to us, because
Yeah.
we would have remembered that.
Yep. And then there was a slightly more recent one for when I was asking KP Law for the title report. They billed us, what was it, $84
Yep,
to send that title report to me and explain it to me.
yep.
It's always lollipop day when I'm here.
Lollipop day.
Come here more often.
Oh, where'd they go?
I would have found this weeks ago.
Sorry, I didn't see him.
Oh, Peg has them.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Here you go. What do you want, blow pop? That's my home.
All right, well, I mean, it is what it is, right?
So one we did pay.
This is yours.
I think
Yes, I think that's
So
all.
this is $63. That's the more recent one related to the title report search.
Okay. Right, so that one we did pay.
she
That's what
sign?
you're saying?
So I think, so we paid the $63,
did sign.
or no, I think we
Does
paid
he
the
have to sign?
$84 one that's in the
Roger
app
has to?
packet.
Yes,
I do have it.
okay.
Yeah, so we did pay the order $84 one, back, or we approved to pay it back on April 5th. So this-
Okay.
So it'd be the
So-
$63 one and the $2,000 one.
All right, so. Add it up. Where did I put my phone? Jeez. Got your calculator? Oh, no, I got it. So we have 3 bills for KP Law totaling $6,776.98.
And what was that for?
That was for horseshoe pond related
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
work. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of paying KP Law a total of $6,776.98?
Aye.
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 All right. Go, ma'am. Anything else?
I think that's it for bills.
All right. emails.
Yeah, so emails, so I have the Central Street RDA, so, they went out and did the soil testing, they laid down the steel plates. Me and Carolyn went out, was it yesterday?
Mhm.
That was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
We went out Tuesday, to check out the site, and,
What's that?
Up behind Wilson's.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, you know, the,
Yeah, looks like they did 3 test pits.
not on the Hog Swamp side.
No. Nope. Yeah, and then I got an email today that Richard Hanks had forwarded. Someone's looking to maybe do a riding ring on Sawyer Hill, on the Gates Pond side of Sawyer Hill Road. So I told him to come in, to get in touch with you for an appointment.
okay.
Does he live up there? Richard Hanks?
Richard Hanks is the building inspector. The man who sent the email is also Richard. And so,
Before we leave Wilson's, are we gonna make any effort to contact DCR and the state to make sure that there's no crossing of that railroad bed?
we've done that.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
It's been done, okay.
They've been contacted, you know.
Is it in writing? Was a letter sent or anything?
I don't think,
Yeah. Think so.
I know Robin was doing that, so.
Because I think it's important and it ought to be in writing. I drafted a letter, actually. I don't know if I can find it or not, but I'll bring it next time we can look at it or something.
And what's that for, Walter?
To get to DCR, or get to the, DCR, who has control of that rail bed now for a rail trail, before the developer does and starts looking for easement, which, it's nice to have a little opposition up first, rather than just let them go in and they might brush it off, because it's been done. There have been crossings allowed on rail trails. So I just thought it'd strengthen our hand if we got something on record.
Yep.
Then we could say, see, we told you, well, we didn't know you didn't want to do it. All right, I'll get that letter to you, and I'll just send it to you, and we'll look at it next
Okay.
meeting.
But I think that's it for mail.
Yep.
Maplewood, still bringing stuff in?
AJ and I made a rather comprehensive visit up there today and talked with
Is it tomorrow?
Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
Went over and visited the site. Boy, there's a lot of stuff hauled in there.
There's a lot of stuff hauled in there.
Almost, I mean, I don't know much more they can haul and not go beyond what she explained was gonna be the grades up there. But, there were 2 big dozers starting to spread loam on the slopes
Oh,
to
well,
get
that,
it done. But as far as.
loam's a good sign.
Huh?
Loam is a
Yeah,
good sign.
Yeah, and, but as far as our role goes, I don't know, we think it's all right.
It's still looking good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, one day, I counted 20 trucks going down
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Union Street.
Yep.
They-
But the faster they do it, the faster it gets done.
Right, exactly.
Highland Ridge. Trying to think. The most recent report showed the silt sacks needed to be cleaned, but
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, lovely.
Great work.
Yep.
What? Oh. Looks like a building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Couldn't figure out what.
Allen Road final report. So, did that get forwarded to everybody?
I didn't see
I
it.
meant to do that. So the enforcement order that we have at 28 Allen Road, It's growing in nicely. We had asked them to put a visual barrier at the 25-foot mark. Apparently their landscaper just thought that was an obstacle course and went around and mowed all the stuff that we were asking them not to mow. So I recommended that he may want to put something a little more permanent than just ornamental grass for the visual barrier. And he asked about a certificate of compliance. I said, how about you let the grass grow back so that you can actually be in compliance before you come?
How about since it was mowed, it's gonna be mowed again, whether it's right away or a couple of years from now, so how
Well,
about
that's what I said.
put in another barrier?
Exactly. Put some more stuff in so they can't get their lawnmower in.
And did you suggest, what are they gonna put in, trees, plant some trees, or?
I want them to put rocks in,
Yeah,
but,
that would be good.
yeah.
We know we have a lot of those in Berlin.
Yeah, right? I'm sure they can find someone with some
Everybody
extra
runs,
rocks.
No problem.
So, that was the last communication about that. We will see when he comes for, I told him to just email when he's ready to apply for the COC, and we'll see what we got. Ha ha, look at that, right on time. All right, our first hearing, 7:15. 61 Lancaster Road. You guys do not have a DEP number yet?
We do not yet. Would
Okay.
you like to plan up here? You want to throw it from you right here?
Okay.
Let's do it.
We also have.
What is this? Awesome. Great, thank you.
Up there.
Put it in the middle of everybody here.
Yep.
Yeah, so we do not have a DP file number, so we're taking this as kind of an opening hearing, come present the project to you guys, have a discussion, and then ideally when we come back, we will. We brought our butter notification receipts and.
So do you
proof of
want to
that as well.
officially open the hearing tonight, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, we're happy to
Okay.
officially open the hearing.
Okay.
So yeah, we were back. As you guys know, we had an ANRAD going here a bit ago. Took a couple months to plan everything. So we're back with the notice of intent now. We kept the plans as far as the resource area shown, exactly how the ANRAD shows, so it matches everything that we have here. I'll run through that quickly, just for context. So on this site, we had the basin up at that proposed crossing right here, collects water kind of coming after the neighboring properties. There's a culvert that connects underneath to the main wetland system here. So this crossing right here is already in. It's not paved, but it's well established, and it's a whole dirt path up the property. Other than that, the wetland system essentially moves from one side of the site down to the other. We kept the existing intermittent stream channel shown here. It's roughly 4 to 5 feet wide, only moves water during high water conditions, and the whole wetland system generally flows to the culvert pipe here and goes under the neighboring driveways. So the movement of water through the site is such that it comes from all the neighboring properties from the back of ours and moves down and continues down Lancaster Road. So as far as the site itself, this crossing here is what we use to propose the driveway. It's there, it's established, and it provides access into the site. Other than the crossing there, which in our opinion isn't an impact to the resource area due to the fact that it's already there, we were able to maintain everything out of the 25. So we dashed the 25-foot local no disturb line as the dash line that you guys see here, and we were able to keep all of the erosion controls denoting the limit of disturbance outside of the 25. So we were able to meet that local policy through and through. We added a detail of the siltation barrier itself, so we proposed straw wattle and silt fence. And I like the way these guys do it. They throw in a note that says contractor, be sure to install the silt fence as well. Too many people forget that. So that's all there. The earth controls are all outside the 25-foot no disturb. And essentially what the proposal is a 3-bedroom house up fully out of the 25. The 100-foot buffer zone comes through the lot seen about right where my finger is here. So the way this was designed is essentially we use the existing crossing to get the driveway in. That way there's no impacts as far as paving goes. We have erosion controls on both sides. The house is positioned on the lot to be as far away from the resource areas as possible in regard to the 25 and the 100 foot. And the septic system that's designed here is actually in that area that's outside of the 100 foot that we see here. So that was positioned to be as far away as possible. So the project has been designed to essentially adhere to all local policies as far as Wetlands Protection Act. No exact performance standards, but we try to keep as far away from the buffer zones and the wetlands as possible. So as far as a wetland standpoint, that's where we are here. I know Chris is still going through the Board of Health.
Yeah, we're dealing with
some
the Board of Health,
variances.
but I wanted to file a notice of intent, make sure we can get a DEP number, make sure we can get an order of conditions before I have a hearing with because we proved we can do conventional system, meets Title V, but obviously we had to
And
get.
that's what this design is.
Well, no, the conventional system, the reserve area was at the 75, but they didn't want the reserve area outside the 100, so we went back with we're gonna propose coming back with a microfast that's gonna give us that 100-foot, because our primary and reserve now are outside that 100. So with the alternative system, we can achieve the 100, and we just wanna make sure DEP's okay with it. And
What is the system you gained?
Microfast.
And what's that?
Microfast, basically an alternative septic. I think they're using them up on South Street, and I think it's been used before on Lancaster Road, Bill Brookins told me. So it's a system that has been approved in this town before, so that's the reason why we put that one in there, and plus we can get a 50% reduction on the size of the primary and the reserve.
And with all those things,
Yep.
how many other variances from how many other departments are you gonna need to make that all work?
No, we don't need much any
No,
more.
it's a yes or a no, it's not. Yeah, like, what variances do you need from the other departments to make this plan work?
I don't need any variances from anybody. I just
So
need
the
a
well, the
variance.
septic, and this well are all within, so there's
Yes.
no variances at all?
Here's your radius from the well. Here's the radius from the well. You don't really need any. We don't need any variances other than the use of alternative system. We're outside the 100 now. That was the big thing. They want us to keep it outside the 100. We're giving them what they want.
And this grading here, right outside the thing, right outside the 25, it's like that now, or is that grading, because that's a pretty steep grade you got right there all along that edge?
I don't think we're really disturbing much of the land outside this right here. Just the breakout. I mean, I don't see us disturbing much more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The existing grades here, 123, 124. You're getting to 125, 126 in this section, so it's. Yeah, I can flip this around too if need be.
So where is the entrance to that lot?
Across from 40 Ks.
Mm-hmm. And you can see it from the road. So this has been cleared for a long time. It's been historically drove over.
So
It's essentially
that's
kind
my
of a dirt
question.
path that's really compacted now. So it's essentially functioning in the same way as a paved
Right,
driveway
here.
already would. It's
So
just not being used as such at
how
this point.
wide is the existing,
I think it's like 50.
really, how wide is the existing culvert?
Yes, the culvert itself we don't have a detail on. We can absolutely get that before the next hearing. What I can say visually is from seeing the crossing is it's much wider than is needed for the driveway here, and where these erosion controls are shown here is they're actually both up on both sides of the top of that proposed crossing, and we're just paving in the middle of it.
Right.
I don't have a measurement of exactly how.
I would say if I
wide.
was to guess, probably 20.
Yeah, visually with the plan, it looks like it's about 18 to 20, something like that.
Right.
But
So,
we can
yeah,
definitely
if
show
you
that.
could have some numbers for that, because it's not just during the construction,
Yes.
it's forever.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
So, I, would like to know how wide what we got there.
Yeah, that's an easy plan addition. We can absolutely add that.
That would be
So I'm
great.
looking at 2 variance requests by the well, right here.
Yeah, I think
Labeled.
one of them is from the distance from the wetlands. If I don't.
Yeah, basically all those other variances, other than the one that's outside from Hunter, the only other variance that has not been granted from the Board of Health is the variance for the use of alternative system with no setback between the reserve and the primary. That's the only variance that has not been granted yet.
So the well variances
Those
have.
have all been granted.
Right, and I know that the distance from the wetlands were denied.
That was the only one before when we had the conventional system showed with the reserve outside the 100. So every other variance has been approved other than the septic system outside the 100.
Okay.
And that's-
So I definitely understand about wanting DEP to look at this and the
Absolutely.
alternative system. But we'll need a letter from the Board of Health
Yep.
once you guys get all sorted with them. And, before we can finalize this, we're going to make sure that the Board of Health that you guys are all set with them.
Mm-hmm. That's June 6th. You're going to see
Oh, I got a question on that though. What's the board have to do with conservation?
We work hand in hand with.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm
Right.
saying, no, they're to deal with the septic system. You guys are dealing with the wetlands. So my goal, I'm just telling you, my goal is to get an order of conditions based off the wetlands, right, to basically remove the doubt and that I'm following your policies, whatever policies that you guys have, that's what we're looking to do.
Yep, but we're gonna work in conjunction with the Board of Health
Okay.
to make sure that everybody is satisfied with what's happening.
I don't know. I don't understand how you're gonna handle right at the 25-foot mark the erosion control right here along the driveway.
Right.
It's a steep grade change
what's
for
the
no
plan
boulders,
for-
no wall, no. You're doing a cliff in what looks like. Where's the grid? Where's the chart? Scale.
The scale?
Let's see.
Where is the scale?
Should be. Oh, it's right at the top right
Oh,
here.
it's up here.
actually. Yeah.
Oh, dope.
So okay,
Had to fit that one in.
yeah.
Is that
So
that area up here you're speaking about?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that
Yeah, we're trying to
switchback
follow
right
along
there
with
that
you.
comes up along the driveway. The current grade, you can see, is spaced out,
119,
and now you're just
121.
going right into the wetlands.
Right here.
Yeah, so is all this
Yep.
water that's
So
not
we-
permeable soil just going to dump off into the wetlands right there and erode away at that with no?
Well, we can rip-rap slope it, we can hydro-seed it, we can, there's multiple different things we can do. We can show you what do you want to see.
Mhm.
Just tell me what you want to see and we'll have it put on the
That
plan.
was my that's part of my concern there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my recommendation
call.
would be something of native plantings with good root systems as well, something that actually absorbs.
Yeah,
that
some
water
sort of
way
call
down.
out. I just want to go there and like do a walkthrough in a couple months, and it's just like a.
Well, we can
Yeah,
do
what I mean?
just lawn
we
it
can,
and
we
shut
can
it
always,
down.
Yeah.
we can
Mhm.
we can hydro-seed it. We can put slopes and shoulders mix on there. Get something with some roots on it to hold it up.
Yeah.
Well, I
that's-
definitely
erosion
don't want to
mats?
see anything that would encourage mowing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Native.
So, yeah, native plantings, like you said, with good root systems.
Yeah, some high water uptake
Um,
shrubs, that kind of
Okay,
thing. I
alright,
think that
yeah.
would.
Yeah, the
That's-
normal.
Yeah, that usually gets us exactly.
Then it
what we
looks
need in
pretty
these
too.
areas.
It's a win-win.
I'll say we'll pick
Safe and
absolutely.
pretty.
Hey,
we'll pick you something that flower, make it
I'm
look nice in the
alright
spring
with
too.
Yeah, there you go.
That's usually what we try and do, but yeah, that's a good question. I think that's a good way to go forward with that.
Yeah, because that's a big change there. And then, sorry if I missed it, but the culvert, the current culvert here, you're not going to have to do anything down there. You're going to have to
I'm
put
trying
in
not
a
to
brand
disturb
new
it if we don't have to
culvert.
disturb it. I'm obviously not going to have to disturb it because I don't want to really disturb the crossing, obviously. So we'll get the width on it, and then I think we'll go from there, huh, Andrew? We'll get
Yeah.
the width on it and see if we.
What
need to
kind of
make any
culvert
changes.
is it currently? Do you
I think
know?
it's a concrete pipe.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
it's a large. It's
Well,
a
that's
large.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's the better answer.
It's strong.
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
okay,
I have
cool.
no concerns over it. I'd rather not impact anything, and I've been there during the high water conditions on the site, and it moves water very, very well. There's nothing backing up over there, so.
Good.
Cool.
So is the culvert under the pathway going? Where
It is, yes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's
and
like
then
an
it
old
shoots out.
paper trail
Actually,
or
right,
something
right
back
about
there,
where you guys see the plans.
Yeah,
That
we should
BGF
have
flag.
anyway. I think we should have a DEP. The lady there, Mia, said like within a week or so we should have a number from them.
Yeah, they confirmed
because I
receipt
think
of
we
it and
filed like
everything.
what was it like late April.
Yep, I think 26.
So she
something
said
like
within
that.
within a week or so we should have a number.
Yeah,
So
they're pretty
by
busy
the
this
time
time
of
of
the
year.
next hearing, we should have a number for you.
Who's responsible for maintaining the culvert? You know, making sure it's kept clean and everything.
What's is that the homeowner?
It should be the home.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's the
Yeah.
property owner.
Yeah.
Because if beavers dam it up, it's the homeowners. Yeah, it's that type of.
Yeah, most
Right.
things like that'll be the responsibility of the homeowner. And honestly, if they don't do it, then they have driveway problems, so it's in their best interest.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's on.
Yeah, you want to keep that clear and running. But it
So
does.
what
It does
are the
move a lot of
options on
water.
that slope that you'd want to see, just so I can let my the guy that's doing the plan know? What are
If it's
different
over 4
options?
feet, obviously you need a. If you did a wall,
Yeah, you need
over
a
4
permit
feet.
and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah. So, but I mean, to keep it more natural would be ideal for us instead of a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really care as long as it comes to a
Because I mean, there's a couple of them. There's a concrete block wall, but if you don't want to see that, there's,
I'm not going to have to look at that. You are.
it doesn't matter to me. I mean, concrete block wall, but
as long as it doesn't erode, I think is the main
Right,
concern.
no erode, but also, I assume in the winter, it's safe to assume you're gonna want to salt and sand
Well,
your
I want a
driveway.
boulder wall because I know there's some boulders in that lot.
Boulders would be fine.
You know,
there is.
all right. So
Um,
I'm just thinking
Maybe
of what I can reuse
interspersed
from the
with some
property. I know
plantings
there's a lot
or
of boulders in there.
whatever, yeah.
That's cool.
All right,
Yep.
so I'll put that on there, like boulder retaining wall to wrap that driveway right there.
Yep.
Okay.
But also, you know, that to keep the direct runoff from the driveway going directly in to encourage. I mean, actually, what I'd really like to see is a gravel strip along the driveway also.
Yeah, basically to mediate the
Yep,
mediate the
to
water out.
grab that, to grab any runoff, just let it soak down in.
This foundation drain, is that location okay, going under the driveway like that?
Where are you gonna go with it? What's proposed?
Right here, you see it's right here, it just comes out, I just figured I'd bring that out to you now, because I
Oh,
think it's coming right out
That's the
there.
outlet. I don't know if you can spit out into wetlands.
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't.
I don't think that's allowed. You could do a dry well over here. I don't know the provisions for that code. I know you can't just open dump into a wetland.
What is it gonna have to be, like a sump or something, or some sort of a retention or something?
If you do a
Because-
big enough drywall with the calculation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a hole in the ground filled with gravel. Have
Yeah,
it.
I know, but it's just like, unless it's like, you know, engineered to hold enough, that almost get into like a stormwater
I mean,
drain
it's gonna
now.
be groundwater running through that pipe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It isn't
No,
going to be
it's-
surface.
Well, it's the
It's
roof
the roof.
and
The roof, the gutter system
Oh,
ties
the
into
gutter
that
system.
and
well, there'll be
empty.
two, right?
What do I have to? I don't have to tie the gutters into it.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing.
No. This isn't. I'm not tying the gutters into it. That's just
It's a
going to be.
perimeter drain.
That's just the drain next to the footing.
Oh.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, I understand if it's gutter and you got the roof tower and everything.
I thought you
else,
were
yeah,
saying
yeah,
that.
No,
Yeah.
No, I understand that. Then it gets more into stormwater.
Yeah, what I typically see what you're explaining is as long as that's outside of any no disturb policies, anything like that. I'm going through that Northborough right now, just trying to keep it out of the no disturb areas, and that's typically sufficient. As
Right,
long as
because
you're
basically
explaining
you're saying you're going
Under
right
the driveway.
to kiss the 25, and then you're going to have a pipe at 25.
No, I think it's right here.
Oh, is that just the arrow pointing to
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
well away from the 25,
Oh,
and
oh.
that and there would be a naturalized strip in between.
I
that.
thought you were going all the way home.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
right into the wetland flags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
if
arrow
you
kinda
couldn't,
pointing
that
to
would be
it.
cool. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
So run your finger along the pipe and where it's gonna discharge.
So right here. So here it is. The elevation comes down right here.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I know,
So
we
the
are
rest of
hogging
it
it.
is all
So your erosion control
just an
stop here.
arrow.
The 25 is here.
Got it.
So with the scale bar, it's over 20 feet away from that area right there.
perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So let's see what DEP has to say. Measurements here. Gravel and
Boulder
stone,
wall.
boulder wall. Get that added to the plan.
Yep.
Yep.
So we're not sure about when our next meeting is, though. I have to talk to these guys. I can't be here for our next scheduled meeting, so
That's okay because anyways, if it's not in 2 weeks, then if you want to wait till after the Board of Health, because that's the 6th, so
Yeah.
that might work out. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
all right.
We'll get that
So
squared
we'll
away.
let you
guys
know
see this
where
plan, and by
we'll.
the time we have the next one, we'll have a DEP number 2 for you.
Right. Our next meeting will either be Wednesday the 14th or Wednesday the 21st.
Okay, that's
We
fine.
need to.
Okay. Either one.
Discuss.
And that
that
gives you
sounds
guys
good.
enough time to get the
Yeah,
ducks
and we'll
in
get the
row.
plan to you guys ahead of time
Yeah,
too.
well,
Yes,
I'll make the-
that would be
make the
great.
revisions
Anytime
too,
to
so
review.
Yep.
I'll make the revisions and email them to you.
Okay.
You're gonna need full size plans.
I will need one full size when we're all done for our files.
All right, so at this point,
Um,
I can email you the revisions?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, that's fine.
Yeah, that way you don't have to keep printing them
Right,
until
right.
we're 100%.
Right.
Yeah, save the trees where we can.
Yeah.
The ink.
That
I mean
too.
the trees too. The
Yeah.
trees too.
Yeah.
But the ink.
Conservation. Some of these towns think you bring 10 hard copies over, and
It's
that's crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right,
that
so the
we're-
conservation commission, then I'm killing the trees to
Who
file.
has file space for 10 copies? And if they're not filing them,
Yeah,
they're tossing them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. No, I want one.
Recycling them. They're not tossing them.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. No, we appreciate it. That's nice and easy. Keeps us going along well.
All right.
That'd be sweet.
Does
Yeah.
anybody have anything else before we send them on their way? You guys good?
Cool. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Why don't we take the?
Mailings.
Yes. I'm gonna keep them safe for too long. You guys can take them off my hand.
And the postings here as well.
Yes.
Where was
Yep.
that system? Where else in Berlin was that system used?
I think it's me, I think, I'm not positive,
So,
but I think.
isn't there another name that it's known under?
Micro,
known by?
well, they call it the FAST system, micro fast.
No.
Biometrics makes it.
There's
It
a
basically just
company.
gives you, it treats the water before it even leaves the septic tank. It treats the water, once it gets into the distribution box, the water's already treated. So,
So there's an enzyme.
there's like it blows air. It blows air in there.
So
it,
that's not what I was
it
thinking
mixes
of.
it basically in the tank. It's an insert unit. It mixes it. It treats the water. Then it gets shot out, pressure dosed. So it gets pressure dosed into these 2-inch pipes. So it's basically, it leaches a lot more even than just a gravity system, basically. So the water's already treated before it even gets to the leach field. It's already been treated. So it gives you 50% size reduction.
Does it fill up with materials quicker?
I mean,
Or
that's
is it
probably
about the
something to know
same?
for the sanitarian. He just explained it to me, and I read about it a little bit. But it basically, it's an active treatment unit. It treats the waste.
I was just thinking, like,
Bill give you that idea?
Yeah,
Sure.
does that fill quicker?
Bill doesn't. He won't give
Okay,
me
good
an
question,
idea. No,
Ed.
my engineer gave me that idea.
Right.
They ain't gonna give me that idea.
Neither were we.
Paul gave me that idea. Paul gave it to me.
Paul McGo.
Yeah. I don't think so.
But yeah, so.
But he
yeah.
had to approve it.
Well, they haven't yet. They have a hearing.
They've already set a precedent, that's what I'm getting at. You know, if they've approved one of these.
And I
before,
understand
they
where
stop.
that. I wanted to give them the 100. I understand. That's a regulation that wants to be upheld. So we have to put this type of system in there to achieve the 100. We're willing to do that, and that's what we're going to explain at the hearing. We're
right.
willing to keep the 100 so that there's no. And this is actually going to be better if you think about it at the end of the day, because it's going to treat the water before it even gets there. So it's going to be better than a lot of conventional systems that are even away 100 conventional systems, if you think about it.
Right.
I don't have 2-minute soils, so it's not dumping into the soils and running. I got 20-minute perks, so it's going to treat. It's going to,
Just, so where would the expansion area have been had not that,
So this was the
Like
primary.
side
so
by
bas-
side?
No, so the primary was here.
yeah.
And then Berlin has another bylaw where they want you to be 10 feet apart with the reserve. So there was a reserve right here, the
Within
same
the
size,
100 foot.
right here at the 75. It was 75 exactly.
And we have, so we don't
It's a
know
100
within
foot.
100, right?
Correct. Right.
So that's why we had to do this, because this will give us the 50% size reduction. So now we took this primary, we sliced it in half, because that system allows you to do that.
So your reserve and
Our
your
reserve and our
primary are
primary
in
here.
the same footprint
Correct.
as the primary
Correct.
prior. Nice.
I like it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's my understanding that this house lot has been turned down 3 times already.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Been around a long time.
Yeah, it was an interesting one to flag. It definitely has some complex resource areas that some people probably try and avoid too. But it's
Right. Well, and before, as septic
goes on,
as septic
septic's-
technology advances, with a
Like,
obviously
if
with
you-
a
like I said,
traditional
15
system.
years ago, it's not buildable, but I mean, I'm saying today, they have these systems that you can fit in there, and they treat the water,
right.
and they're proven to do it. I mean, they're approved. They're approved. They go through definitely a lot of testing standards before they can be approved.
Sure.
So the DEP approves them. I don't think they just throw it out there without a lot of testing. So
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's our only concern. So,
Great.
all right, excellent. Well, we will let you know when our next meeting is.
sure.
Yeah, that all sounds great. Awesome.
And
Next
All right.
time you bring the lollipops.
I will.
We'll let you know,
shared with
too,
you
when we
this
get
time.
the
I
DEP
had
numbers,
ready for my
those
ride home.
revisions.
Oh yeah, nice.
Little
your
reward
Sam
for finishing my
Adams.
workday.
Yep.
What's that?
So
Bring
we
me a
have
Sam
to
Adams.
officially
What were you talking about? Was it
ex-
some fence they're trying to
continue
put
the
up in Berlin?
hearing.
Yes.
There's a big
Yes.
fence they're trying
So
to put
yeah,
up
I guess
or
we can't give the
something?
date off, but yes, we would
Right.
definitely like to
I
continue
heard
it
that.
until your
All right,
next
hey,
one.
hey, chatties. We have business to do.
Well, we,
I don't care. Take it out in the hall then.
No.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, so we would like to continue this to your next meeting date, and please just let us know when that is, and we will have the business ready for you.
Excellent.
Cool.
Thank you.
Business resumed.
All right, take off.
Thank you guys.
You guys want to continue your
Yeah, who's
conversation?
looking
Go
for-
do
who's
it out in the
looking for a
hall.
fence?
the
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
gardeners down there, they want to,
You didn't want to give them the fence.
that's right.
Why not?
Why not?
All right, goodbye.
Berlin, things in Berlin a little different.
Take care now.
All right.
You know, this is we gotta have talks once in a while about different issues, but this is a perfect example. The Board of Health, if I was on it, we never would have approved that system. That opens up, we're here to protect Berlin, the health of Berlin. Other people coming in looking to cash in on Berlin and hit and run is a different motive. And we've got every right to use the existing laws the way we want. The state cannot come in and tell you not to do, tell you you've got to do something. But now that they've done it and the precedent is set, they could, you know, they can open up an awful lot of land that
Right.
put them in tight spots that otherwise they couldn't have and shouldn't have. So there's been a lot of development, houses going in different places that
Right.
just
I
couldn't
believe,
believe
I
it.
believe that if this system has been approved, which I'm not entirely sure it has been, but if it has, it's been for existing systems. I don't think it's been for new construction.
That'll make it, that's different.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna call, well, I'll call the Board of Health and talk to them, give them my view on it, because they shouldn't approve it for a new structure.
Oh, I don't know. You can't talk about it now, right?
Can't what?
Which,
Now that they're gone, like the
We-
variance
we-
thing.
no.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. But thank you. Thank you for catching yourself.
Clarity, just searching for clarity. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. All right. Moving on. Maddie has something very exciting.
I always pronounce the forest name wrong.
Ager.
Acre. All right. So, remember last year when Walter and AJ reached out to DCR about the forest stewardship program for Acre? So we want to improve Acre for bird habitat. So I was thinking of setting up a map station. So it's a monitoring avian productivity and survivorship bird banding station. So essentially what you're doing is you're banding birds during the summer.
Catch them.
You catch them.
Band them.
So I have like a little video.
Oh,
Those little
And then
New
you
York,
trace the
uh,
Right.
conservation.
And then and
Oh, it's a GPS thing.
no, if they get,
Yeah, so we catch them and put a little aluminum band on their legs. It's a 9-digit number that's unique to that bird.
Like
So-
the ducks and the geese.
Yeah, exactly.
And you call in the number when you get them.
Yep. So,
Interesting.
essentially
What
we'll
about
be banding those
songbirds?
birds.
Isn't that
Yeah,
awesome?
songbirds. Yep.
yeah. And it's a 5-year program.
Yeah.
So how many times a year?
So you try to go out 7 times a season. So basically divide the summer up into 10-day periods. Being in the Northeast, we start up in period 4, so we band 7 times throughout the summer. So the idea is you're gonna catch the adults while they're setting up their territories, and you're also keeping track of who you hear singing and trying to determine if you think these birds are breeding on the property, kind of thing. And then by the end of the season, you're gonna start catching their young and that sort of thing. So you get an idea of how productive they are, if they had a good breeding season, that kind of thing, and survivorship. So over the years, you'll see the same birds returning year after year,
Oh,
coming
so
back
you
to the same
you
site.
set up your net,
Yep.
right? Net,
Yep.
and you catch the birds again.
Yep.
Later.
Yep.
Okay. I was wondering.
Right. Yeah. You don't put the nets up and leave them up.
No. I was
Yeah,
saying
right.
you banded it.
just
You
just
band the thing and you're
clarifying
like,
that.
go fly, fly, and then the things you never see it again.
Yeah. Yep. So sometimes that does happen. You never see them again, but
Oh,
ideally you do see them again.
hold on.
So here's a little video that it's just like a 4-minute show that so New York Department of Environmental Conservation has a map station set up on their property.
I know.
You know.
How does that work? You can listen.
Actually,
Yeah, I guess.
is there a way to do it to get the camera too?
Won't the camera do the weird
they don't have this.
thing?
Just
Like when you videotape a screen.
Oh yeah, it does.
It
the
goes
weird
like-
shift.
Oh, walking. Yeah. So sorry.
Let me just make sure I'm connected to the internet. Okay.
In general, birds are good indicators of environmental health. Knowing something about bird populations through banding specifically allows us to monitor status and trends of those bird populations over time. The MAPS bird banding program stands for Monitoring Avian Productivity and Survivorship. It's coordinated by the Institute of Bird Populations, and it's implemented by a number of partners and volunteers, all following the same procedures of capturing birds, marking them, and hopefully recapturing them over time. These maps show generally where all of those stations are across North America, as well as in New York. The MAPS season has 7 sampling periods, typically once every 10 days from May through August. So we end up sampling about 7 times each year. We capture birds using a special type of net called a mist net. And you can see how it literally disappears into the surrounding area once you open that net up. It blends right in. So birds really can't see the net as they're moving through the landscape, and they literally fly into the net and fall into the deep pockets of that very fine mesh. We carefully extract them from the net, place the bird into a bird bag, and that's a way to safely transport the birds back to our banding station. We have a bander with the bird in hand, and we also have a scribe recording the information that's specific to that bird as we walk through the banding process. The first thing that we do is identify the species. Once we know what species we have, we can identify what band size we need. You can see on these bands the unique series of numbers that each band has. We apply that band to a bird's leg using pliers. Once the bird is identified and banded, we determine how old the bird is. We determine, is it an adult or is it a juvenile? We look at the sex of the bird. Is it a male or a female? We also look at a number of different characteristics about the bird's body condition, such as do they have any stores of fat that shows how fit they are, if they have energy reserves. We also look at flight feather molt, new feathers growing in. We also take a variety of measurements. We also weigh each bird before we release it. When it's all said and done, we've collected a variety of information about each individual bird. You can see all of the different parameters that I just talked about are recorded for every single bird that we band. If you're interested in banding birds and you're looking for how could you possibly help, one of the best things you could do is if you encounter a banded bird, please report it. If you'd like to learn more about the MAPS program in general, here's the address for the Institute of Bird Populations.
You have the kids involved in that?
I would definitely.
Yeah.
So basically I got involved because my 7th grade science teacher ran a banding station and invited all the students down. So I'd love to turn it into an educational
Yeah, that would be great.
program to, have kids come out on summer vacation and see it.
So Maddie is certified, and she has already obtained all the permits?
Yep, so I have all the permits and the go-ahead to set up the map station. It's just now the process of setting up the map station, so going out there, creating net lanes. So ideally, I would set up 10 of those nets on the property.
The big net?
Yep. Yeah, so they're 40 feet long. And
10 of them? And
Yep.
then do you let them go back where you caught them? Or do you just good luck? Like,
yeah, we let them, they have no problem.
They know where to go?
Yeah, they know exactly where to go.
And then those are all cute little birds? What if you get a hawk or something?
It occasionally does happen. I've definitely had
But you ban that thing too?
if I have the bands for it, I'll throw a band on it.
After it tears the net apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I was banding.
the bander.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that does happen on occasion. I've caught a red-tailed hawk once accidentally, and the whole net just collapsed down on it, and it was just on the ground, and I was like, not really sure what to do with you, but.
What about owls?
So eventually I want to do, so I do saw-whet owls, the
Saw-whets.
smallest owl species around here, in the fall.
Right?
Owls are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about it last fall for over at 40 Caves, but the migration time came and went too quickly before we could get even close to set up and permission and all of that, so.
What were the perimeters? Why'd you pick that spot? It doesn't,
So the reason I picked that spot was just because we wanted to do the forestry stewardship program
okay.
with the bird habitat
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if we had like a nice baseline of this is how it was when we started,
Yeah.
and then
'Cause I
after we
would-
did the forestry stuff, if it
Yeah.
changed the species hanging out in there kind of thing.
I would think there's habitats around would be more.
Oh, yeah,
birds.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's always potential to open up other stations too, because
Yeah.
you can do multiple ones if time allows, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I have all the nets. The only thing I would need is electrical conduit. We use 1/2 inch to set up
To-
the
to-
10-foot poles.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you have any access to it?
Right.
Use the
Any deal?
metal, right, because it's rigid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So we use the
Plastic wouldn't.
yeah.
How do you
no,
get it in the
pigment.
ground?
We have a big spike that we hammer into the ground, and
Oh, and then that goes into
You just
that.
Yeah.
leave it right over
Yeah.
the top.
yeah. So the poles are 10 feet long, and
I
then
may
the
have
net
some
only
wire.
stretches like 7 feet.
Right.
So I did like a price search. It's currently like $10 a pole right now. Or back in the day where it used to be a lot cheaper than that.
With all the trees up there, you need to have a
About
pole.
2.5.
Yeah, yep. Just for
To
those.
hold the nets.
Yep.
Because it gets special clips. And
Yeah.
Attach it to the tree.
Yeah. Yeah. The way the nets work, there's 5 trammel lines, and they have to be,
Okay.
yeah, perpendicular and parallel
Yep.
to each other.
Got
How do you
it.
staff
Yeah.
this project?
So it's basically just all volunteers. So I do it in Auburn on the weekends. We do migration work, basically Lyme disease research, and it's just all volunteers that all got hooked in by my 7th grade science teacher back in the day, and their
That's cool.
parents. Yeah.
So, and I know you told me this because I know I asked it before, but how many volunteers would ideally, minimum, would you need each of the 7 days?
So each day, so I would probably have one of the other experienced banders, at least one other experienced bander, come out with me.
Yep.
And that's what I need to run the station. But it'd probably be, if we could definitely have visitors come out, I would say maybe 10 at most visitors come out to see what's going on,
Okay,
kind of thing.
cool.
So tell me what you need for posts, for pipes.
So
Or
I was
email
thinking
it to
of,
me, whatever you
yeah.
want, you know.
Yep.
Just let me know.
Right.
so I'd need 20 or 3/4 inch, 10-foot EMT conduit.
$10.
Yeah, $10 a pool.
So
What they're coming at.
200.
Yeah.
So we do have some money left in our budget. If someone would like to make a motion that the Conservation Commission buys the poles.
So
I'd like to
moved.
make a motion, yeah, someone wrote it.
I second it.
Okay, so do we want to say up to $250 just in case?
Tax?
No.
And whatnot?
Well, we can't pay tax.
What about the spikes?
Oh.
you
Do we have to
mentioned?
vote on it?
So
Because it's something you could.
I just have
It
this
is something I
solid,
could do,
like,
but
inch
since we're all
thick
sitting
spike
here,
that-
Oh, okay.
we'll vote on it.
So yeah, you just need that once.
Right.
Um,
I would get 2 extra poles.
yeah, the only other labor-intensive part is setting up the station.
Sure.
Just let us know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just have I need to just kind of figure out what areas I think would be suitable for net lanes.
Right. And do you have the dates picked out already yet?
I have not picked out the dates
Okay.
yet. So the first period starts May 31st to June 10th. So,
Okay. So somewhere in that window.
Yep. And ideally a weekend just because
Yeah,
I work
right?
during the week. So.
Yep. Okay. So, a motion for up to $250 for the polls has been made and I believe seconded.
I did.
All right. Any other questions? Any further discussion?
Yeah, I mean, just being a Yankee, it just seems like throwing out, it's like a $45,000 fence for a guard. If it's $200 are gonna do it, why add on 25% more? Just throw it in there for good measure. 10 poles are 10 poles.
Right, but if she gets there and the price has gone up to $11 a piece, It's not that she has to spend $250, it's that she can spend up to.
Okay.
Just to give a little wiggle room. Prices are crazy right now.
Walter would request that you bring in a receipt.
Right.
Yeah, so I did. Oh, nice. Yeah, so they did have like a deal if you buy a certain number of them. So they did
Yeah, you
give me a
get bulk
discount.
pricing.
So it was like the estimated price was $205.06.
See?
And then tax.
So that would be
Right.
out of
Yeah,
the,
did it have tax on it?
Out of the
Yeah.
budget.
the budget.
$12
Yeah.
in tax.
How do we not pay tax? We have a tax ID number? Or,
The town does, so we will pay the tax. We won't get reimbursed the tax because the town has a tax ID number.
So the town would have to issue a purchase order.
Correct.
We want it done this year.
Correct. So, I'll give you the $12 for the ease of paperwork. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right. So we are gonna have to go to select board.
Mhm.
Just because Kristen already knows that we want to do this, and she's like, yeah, just come in and let them know. That way when people call and say, hey, what's happening over there, they know what's going on. So, do you want to, will you email
Yeah, I can email.
Kristen?
Yep.
Yeah, and just get on an agenda.
Yeah.
Would it be a
Um,
good idea to post it on our website, the not Berlin Neighborhood Connecticut, but the Conservation Facebook page?
Sure. Yep. Once we get, yeah, I would love to. Maybe do a little series of what we got this time
Yep.
and what's going on this time, and yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah, by the way, Earth Day got a lot of hits on the Conservation Facebook page.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't get any notification that you guys even posted stuff.
I don't even think
Did you post the big trash picture?
We haven't yet, no.
I didn't write the article either. I'm embarrassed by it.
Dude.
Yeah, we
Do
need
have
some
that picture.
Tohoto
It's been-
students to help us.
Yeah, well, just
Spending all my
get the
time up at
pictures to
40
me or
keys.
Maddie or Lawrence. She is the one who
Oh, okay.
usually
Yeah.
would post
Okay.
the after stuff.
Yeah, I can
Um,
send them.
Yeah, get the pictures and we'll get them
Yeah, we
posted.
did send them to Marty, and he's gonna try to work something out, like a flash drive or something with all the pictures.
Okay. Do you have any on your phone for
I
now?
do.
Yeah, just email them or text them or whatever, just so we can
Okay, I'll
put
do
some
that.
stuff out. Yep.
I can email it to Conservation, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay,
Perfect.
I'll do that.
Awesome. All right. So the saga of the CSX. Oh, awesome. That's a great picture. Yeah, send that to me if you would.
Yeah, let's do it after.
Okay, yep.
Anyway.
So I did get a quote. I sent it to the day actually that I was going to meet the guy to get the quote. That afternoon, the claims adjuster from CSX called me and said that he had gone out and measured the width of the area, and that all the damage was on their property. And he thought that was going to be enough, and I said, so we'll just keep the remediation to the wetlands. And somehow he had never heard of the Wetlands Protection Act in Massachusetts. So I informed him that, it's not allowed to destroy wetlands no matter whose property it's on. So he said he was going to research that.
Some light reading.
Some light reading.
Nice.
And So then I met the guy, got the quote, sent the quote to to this guy, and he called me yesterday and said that he had to pass it on to environmental, and that quite possibly a lawyer would be getting in touch with us.
So are we gonna shut down the railroad in the meantime?
Right? Ridiculous. I literally laughed when he said lawyer. I'm like, really? We're gonna get lawyers in? And so I said, well, if we're gonna get lawyers involved, I'm probably gonna have to get the select board involved.
Right, because we're gonna have to engage our lawyer.
Right. So we'll see. Well, it's insane. It's truly insane. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, it's pretty straightforward from our end of it. I mean, even if they have lawyers, let them have 10 lawyers.
Sure.
The law is the law, and we
Yeah.
know that, and it's simple. Just they're going to do it.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know if he was thinking that saying all of those things would make me say, oh, yeah, don't worry about it, or what. But
Big
I'm
mistake.
like, all right, right?
Out of curiosity, what was our quote that would make him want lawyers?
6,000.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Who's the quote from?
Right?
That's
Quote was
Was that
from-
about 4 hours of lawyer time?
Yeah, the quote was from somebody who used to work for the highway department
Okay.
that Fred Cummings had recommended.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like 60.
No,
Something.
that's the thing. Like it's not that much money.
Yeah.
And really, that's why I laughed when he said lawyers. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And more than that on the lawyers.
Yeah. So I
I
have
can
no,
pay for lawyers and the 6,000 then. That's fine.
right. Yeah.
That's too bad. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It is unfortunate, and it's a mess over there. But unfortunately, the only thing we can make them put back to the way it was is the wetlands.
I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good work.
So the saga continues. I will let you know. Garden workday tomorrow. I'm there. Well, Maddie's showing up.
Ann said she's coming. But
Ann's coming.
she's gonna be in Boston for most of the day. I don't know when she'll get there.
We'll wear masks. We'll put you down at the other end of the garden.
Here's a, go down there.
Time of the day?
5:30. You can come for a little while.
I might be a little late, but
Okay.
I'll be there,
Okay, awesome.
so.
Bring your backhoe.
Oh, we don't have
Yeah.
a backhoe.
Oh, darn.
We have a front loader.
So,
you were gonna bring your electric weed whacker?
I have one.
No, that's fine.
Well, bring yours then. We can have a little contest.
We got a new
Milwaukee
electric
wins
mower.
every time.
The riding mower. It's pretty fancy.
Nice.
It's fun. Yeah.
Oh,
and
weird.
it's pretty powerful.
That's
It's
awesome.
Fun. And it's quiet.
How many times do you have to charge it to finish mowing your lawn?
It lasts 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So do
So you can mow your whole lawn in one
I
charge?
don't mow the whole lawn.
I can't mow my lawn in
yeah.
2.5 hours.
I
So
just
you
do the
charge it in
My
a-
landscaper
Charge in
can't.
batteries. There's 6 batteries. You just charge it. It takes not that long to charge
Huh,
either.
that's cool.
And
That's
that's,
awesome.
it. You plug it in and go.
That must
and
sound wicked weird.
It's so weird, but it's
Just like
fun. I love it.
a new noise.
That's awesome.
It's my new toy.
Anything else about the garden?
well, I think I did some of the cleanup already on one end. But
Good job.
if we start with the area where we're going to put the new plants, I want to get in there and dig out most of the established cultivars. We probably won't get all of it, but get as much as we can out of there. Otherwise, we're going to be fighting it forever.
Right.
And
What's in there down that end?
oh boy, it's about equal amounts of daylilies and daffodils. And there are some other cultivars in there and some shrubs. There are a couple of very nice hydrangeas, and I think we ought to keep those, even
Sure.
though they're not
Yeah,
natives.
but they're still.
Yeah,
Yep.
very decorative.
I
And
gotta-
I think
gotta
there's some
ask, what is a cultivar?
a non-native.
Because I
Oh,
didn't
not,
want
Yeah,
Yeah.
non-native.
Good.
So daffodils are not invasive?
No, no, no.
Oh.
They're hybridized to the point where most insects don't even know what to do with a lot of those hybridized plants because they don't
They don't recognize them.
they don't recognize them as a food source.
Unless they're from Holland. If we get insects from Holland, then that's where
that a
lot
weird
of the
gardening
that's,
joke?
I guess
Oh my
I
God.
didn't think it was, but I guess it
Those
is.
cultivars. They're silly.
Yeah, because I had an enormous amount of vole damage this winter. I have giant gaps in my garden this year. I'm
Yeah.
so
Unbelievable.
We lost a lot of plants too.
Same-
and so did
They eat
Walter.
everything.
yeah. So that's so interesting. I've never had this much damage.
I got some
Uh,
Grubix or whatever it was, I gotta get that. I mean, just areas big in this room all over my
Big,
back.
giant, yeah. Yep.
Weird.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go down there with pots tomorrow and dig that stuff up, dump it into pots, and I don't know quite how to give it away other than just, I don't know, put something on Berlin Neighbors or something.
Yeah, we can
Help yourself.
help yourself. Yep.
Yeah.
Free stuff.
I-
If you want to bring
I
it
don't wanna
down and
get-
put it in my front yard, I'm telling you, I put stuff out there and 20 minutes later it's gone.
What is it?
Anything. I've gotten
No,
rid
like
of.
where do we?
Oh, he's talking about the cultivars that
The
we're
plants we're
going to
taking out.
remove.
Cultivar.
Oh, we're taking cultivars away from
Yes,
the
so that we
cultivation.
can plant native
Oh,
plantings.
yes.
Yeah.
We could also post those on, what is it, Buy Nothing,
Yeah.
Berlin
Yeah.
Real
Well,
Estate?
there's
Yep.
a few of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places that we
It-
can.
I'll take them.
I'll
Yep.
take whatever's left. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
So then I was wondering if we could do a poster or just a single sheet explaining what we're doing because people may stop by and say, what are they doing here?
Right.
So here's what it says: a garden in transition. This town garden has long been a showcase for typical landscape flowers. We are in the throes of transitioning the plant communities in this garden from cultivars to native plants with a focus on native pollinator food sources and habitat/breeding plants.
Put in parentheses. Non.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
after
explain
cut-
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then here's a list of some of the plants we're installing, and I've got about 15 on this list. And some of them I'm digging out of my gardens because I have more than I want of them. but most of these came from the kit that you
Right.
bought for the garden.
Yep.
And
Is the kit here?
no, it comes
First week of June.
First week of June. We'll get it.
So we're prepping for it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not planting tomorrow.
No.
We have
We're
some
removing
some
cultivars.
plants
Correct.
to put in tomorrow.
Oh, we do have some things. To
Yeah,
plant.
but they don't have to go in tomorrow. But we need to do the prep work so when the plants come.
What is the poison ivy level? That's that
There's
location.
none there.
I have not seen
Very
any.
little, if any.
I
yeah.
have not seen any.
And Walter's not allergic, so if you find some, just
I'll wear my short
call
shorts
him.
then.
I sprayed it all around up anyway. So.
Perfect.
That's a ton of it.
Anyway, at the end it says, for additional information, contact the Conservation Commission.
Perfect. Awesome. So do
a sheet like this or a poster? What do you think? I mean, should it be bigger than this? Or?
No, I think
Okay.
that's fine.
And we'll put it right
Put it
inside
on
of
the thing.
in the kiosk.
Is there a cover on that?
On the kiosk, yes. But
Okay.
I'll laminate it.
Okay.
I have a laminator.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. We can post
There's a
that
cover
on
on that, but it just opens up with a couple
Conservation
latches.
Facebook page and-
Yep.
Yeah, and then once we have that stuff out, we'll have a count of the number of pots, and
Perfect. I have some empty pots
I
too. So I'll throw them in my car tomorrow.
I never put those in the garbage. I reuse them over and over. So yeah.
Yep.
So, but mine are all about 6 quarts, about a gallon and a half.
I have
size.
some bigger ones. I have a fair amount of small
Yeah.
and
Yeah, just bring
yeah,
whatever
I'll
we
just
need. We'll
bring
have.
them and If we use them, we use them. If we don't, we don't.
Right.
I can bring some too.
Cool.
I need a weed whacker, and it's got a
Gloves?
chainsaw attachment and an edger.
Nice.
And,
The edger will be good.
okay.
Yep.
And then shovel. Or
Sure. Yep. Shovel, rake,
Should be good.
Now
hoe.
we're asking for
Do we need gloves? I mean,
gloves
It-
suggested per OSHA.
yeah, but does anybody need gloves? Because we have a box of gloves left over from Earth Day.
Oh,
Oh,
I have my own gloves.
I have nice
Yeah.
gloves. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Very particular with my fingers.
Mm.
That's all I have for the garden.
All right. Mount Pisgah Trail Work. Is this the Northborough?
Yeah.
Yeah, they emailed, and I emailed back.
And then they've been emailing and they haven't included you in that
Yeah,
chain.
no, they removed me because they're the mountain bikers.
Right.
Yeah. So does everyone know about it, or just me, you, and
No, tell us about it.
So they're upset that because it has rained and there's water, and since the fire, there's a lot of puddles on the trail. It gets their butts
Oh,
wet
this was
when they
different.
ride bikes. So they want to dig out channels in the trails so the puddles will drain. They said there will be no trail modifications at all in
Right.
Berlin
Right.
without approval by the board. They didn't like that. They have since removed me from the thread, and I don't know. But apparently you're talking about a whole nother issue,
Yes, that you were not included on. So
probably because of my response.
right.
to
So the
previous.
only thing that I will
Thank
say,
you for that response.
right, the only thing that I would say about the muddy areas, as we know, it's not just the mountain bikers, but that walkers will expand the trail walking around it. They're not going to walk through that.
I got a Walter comment. Get some galoshes
Right.
and get out there. And if you want to go walk
See,
downtown,
you don't
Can
even
we
have
put
to.
boards
What,
up?
It's like that all over
Is
the
it-
place. Go up the
I
mean, is it
Mount
like that we
Pisgah,
need
go
that?
any place up
You know,
Mount
boards to put
Wachusett.
tell them you want to go to Mount Washington and change the
Right,
trail because
um,
it's muddy. We ain't gonna do it.
But
Sorry.
it's not that often that happens, is that it? But I know a lot of trails, they just, put the
There's some
boards
wet
down.
spots, but you wear hiking boots and you
Right.
You just go right through it.
and you're not gonna get trench foot and die
Right.
on Pisgah.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I
It's
think
not a
it's
matter of that. You can
Paint the
offer
picture.
you can offer whatever alternatives you would like to see happen, but unless you put up a sign that says "Don't walk around the trail, get your feet wet," people are going to walk around the puddle.
Hey, Carolyn,
And
I don't care if they do
they'll
walk
also
around the
ignore the
puddle. It's
signs.
not a big deal. It's not a big
Fine.
deal.
It widens
happens
it
all-
widens the trail.
It's not a big deal if it goes around a puddle. The puddles don't last that long anyway. It isn't gonna ruin
Fine.
the woods. I wouldn't worry about it.
All right. So then
That's-
the other thing
With
that
all due respect.
I love that.
The other thing that we've been in communications with the Trails Committee in Northborough about up at Pisgah is there's some bridges near the Lyman parking lot, near that entrance, that are in disrepair, and
Which one's that? This right here?
this is Linden. Lyman, the newer parking area down
Oh, the
on
tree
the north.
fell. Yes.
It's in Berlin, though?
Well, we weren't sure. Is it in Berlin? Is it in Northborough? And then we kind of were like, what does it matter? Let's just work together
yeah.
and fix it. So, so we've not picked a date or anything, but we've been talking to them about working cooperatively.
We can do that.
We try to, but they push their agenda, and they push and they push every time I deal with them.
I understand and agree. It's just like Clinton with the rail trail.
You know the good trails, and AJ and I walked on them yesterday. Those trails that go from like where Maplewood is out to Pisgah and then over to where the spring was and where it's burned. They're beautiful trails,
Yeah.
Just very nice.
Yep.
So there was other concerns too up there about people getting lost because the trails aren't marked anymore
Why aren't the trails marked anymore?
because of the fire. I don't know.
Oh, that I didn't see.
That was another thing that was brought up, and I said I don't know. Can't help you.
Did you give another Walter answer?
I may have. He's rubbing off on me. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to Worcester and walk the sidewalks, for heaven's sakes, if
Yeah.
I can't get lost in the woods. Jesus.
All
Having
right.
fluids.
Right?
Yeah, we spent 2 hours in the woods yesterday.
Yeah.
And you didn't get lost?
Darn weekend. It
Don't
was a
tell her.
miracle.
Don't tell her.
Just a miracle.
Oh yeah, sounds like it was a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of trails.
So they're gonna give us a work date someday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because those ones are bad down there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll work with them and get them
That
fixed.
trail's like the hardest one, I think.
Yeah, the one that
Not that
goes
I'm a-
like almost straight up.
My peak fitness level was a couple years ago, but that,
Oh, just
Gonna
wait a
put up
couple
your
of
finger
years.
again?
Oh, it's gonna get worse?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't bring mine because it was in use by Ann.
what is it?
I happen to. Well, are we going to talk about
Yep,
40
go ahead.
Ks on
Yep.
camera?
Oh, there's yours.
I wrote this down because I'm old and I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Okay, 40 Caves. Lot going on up there. First of all, nothing on the cameras by the sign, which had been bent over several times. Unless you count the 2 kids who came across the track from the house in question and tried to stomp the dickens out of a geocache vessel that's parked there.
Oh, no.
Kicked it, knocked it over, stomped on it. But, you know,
That's
and
terrible.
then the woman walking 2 dogs, one pooped in front of the camera. The poop is still there. And several bicycles, which are not allowed in 40 Caves, no bicycling. But who's counting, you know. Anyway, I think there are issues around just that one, it's not even a trailhead. And it's like all this stuff. Someone established a camp,
Yes.
fire ring and the works. So I'm gonna go find it and maybe, you know, try to figure out if it's potentially a hazard in these dry conditions.
Right.
I don't know if we need to, you know. There's more axe damage. Trees have been damaged and blazes have been knocked off the trees, the little markers, trail markers.
Yeah. So
Oh.
somebody's
Yeah.
walking around with a hatchet.
Well, I got them on camera
Vandalizing,
last
yeah.
year.
I saw
It's-
that movie.
It's not a
Yeah.
it's not a hatchet. It's a long axe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you have
Well,
a
that
picture of him
kid
with
was.
it?
I got some home video of it. Yeah. A little research, and I found that target practicing and hunting are not allowed by SVT in the 40 Caves Preserve.
Without
I
special
thought
permit?
that was
No,
interesting.
just not allowed.
Really?
Okay, 40 Caves is not listed as one of the preserves where they permit hunting. But that doesn't mean you couldn't ask for permission. It's just not an open.
Well, their whole lottery system's a whole nother.
They want to beg for forgiveness.
Well, but I've seen people in there hunting.
Is that a deal, the 40K, do we own that? And gave CR?
We do, and usually we do allow hunting on all our
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
I mean, if we
So I was
own
real
it-
surprised by that.
I don't think,
I thought we were allowed to hunt there. As far as I knew, you were allowed to hunt there.
yeah.
I don't think that's a thing.
Right. It may not be listed on SVT.
Because they don't have a
It's-
right to make that
and the
decision
thing
for
is,
SVT. For
It
their, right?
may be
I think we
what they
specifically
mean
allow it
is
in the CR.
if
To
SVT
hunt.
owns
Yes.
the
Yeah.
property, they only have the CR. They don't own the property. We do.
Correct.
And that may be the difference.
Right.
So that's
it's
all
not
the further I
listed.
got with
Yep.
You can't target practice regardless. That's,
Right.
but I believe you are, right?
Yes, we allow
Yeah.
hunting on all our.
But target
conservation
practice,
land.
you can't do, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Right.
I think I read something on SVT too, in their Berlin lands, they allow hunting on it.
I
They're
can't
gonna work
imagine
in Berlin,
that they
you
would
know.
take that away.
They don't actually own any land in Berlin.
Yeah, they just have
do.
the.
Yeah.
Where?
Garfield Woods, what we used to call Garfield
I think
Woods.
they've got
I
a couple
think
little
they own
parcels.
that.
That's right. It was on the map that
They do have a little.
on the Monday
No, I'm on
presentation. that we
Lancaster
had.
Road. There's a big acreage on the Lancaster, before you get to where the opening is going in, where you
Right.
park.
So I think
all
that's
that
Garfield
left side of the
Woods.
road is SVT's. It was given to them, by Dennis Murphy who was on their board, and he was also a board member of the Hudson Bank, and somebody was going
Find that
bankrupt
video.
or something, so he gave that to SCP to get that.
We want number one, so the next one down.
Right.
So,
It's
so
a
la-
picture.
last August, I happened to capture on camera 2 dogs being walked by with no leashes and literally running up to and backing up 2 adult men into the trees.
The German Shepherds?
No, they look like a chocolate and a white lab, but I'm not sure. I don't know dogs. But they literally backed these people up into the woods, and they stood there frozen as these dogs are, especially the darker colored one. It happened last Saturday. I was out with a group of 17 people doing a botany study, and this guy came through with 4 dogs, and it was the same thing. These dogs came up snapping and snarling and barking, and they run right up to you, and then they stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's frightening. I'm not a dog person, but I like dogs. I
It
just
doesn't
don't
seem
have
like
one.
you're a dog person, no.
But it was.
But
it
even
was
if you're
so
a dog person, you don't know if they're
irresponsible.
going to stop or not.
Right.
You have no idea.
But there's no
Especially
leash
they're
law.
barking and running, and, yeah, too.
On
So-
You have to be in
SVT
control.
property,
So
well,
here's
you're
the
supposed
same
to have voice
kid
control
with the
for
same
sure.
2 dogs.
And SVT,
And
they
if you
do
want to see
require
this,
leashes. Berlin
she can play
doesn't,
it.
But
Watch this. Watch this. Right up to the guy.
Shoot it.
Do you know in Massachusetts, believe it or not, if a dog worries you, you can kill it.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
wow.
I was in fear for my life. The dog tried to kill me.
So they're
It's a good thing we don't have open carry, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
There-
we don't.
Yeah.
There
I
are
was
8
fishing.
rules. There are 8 rules in Sudbury Valley Trustees on their website about dog behavior, and this clown violated 5 of them.
Right.
Dogs must be under control at all times. They have to respond to voice command if they're off leash. At all properties, dogs must be restrained by a leash immediately when encountering other walkers. That doesn't mean you leave them loose. You put them on a leash, you pass the other walkers, you turn them loose again. Dogs must stay on paths at all times. Then this kid was off through the woods with the dogs. Dog owners must clean up after the dogs. He didn't have any poop bags either time. I don't know if he's putting it in his pocket.
That's where I keep them. I don't know where else you would keep
No,
bags.
no, I mean, you know what I mean? The poop.
Oh, the full bag.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wasn't out there to clean up after his dogs. And dog workers must not walk more than 3 dogs at a time, and on Saturday at 4.
What?
Yeah. And none of them were leashed.
I don't leash any of mine.
Do you have a picture of him on the camera?
Yep.
Guy,
Yeah.
can you identify him?
Well, yeah, it's
I
the
mean,
same
is it-
kid.
Is it good enough to?
I think on video number 2 is where he
enforces that?
right in front of the camera.
Came from Clinton Way?
Yep.
Right.
In fact, the attack on Saturday
Do we have a dog?
happened
We have one.
in
Animal?
Clinton,
We
not
have
Berlin,
an
about
animal
70
control
meters
officer.
from
Really?
We do.
the town
Ellen
line,
Roach.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
she's wicked
Clinton
nice.
Concom is
Okay,
now
I know who
involved.
that is. I caught a chicken in my yard once,
So-
and she came and took the
I
chicken.
think that would make.
But
it-
you
It
know,
wasn't
you think
anyone's
about
chicken.
this
No one knew
list of
whose chicken it was.
stuff going on that
Right.
Had to be somebody's.
it doesn't make our trails very welcoming.
No, that would make.
Well,
a
Walter
a
doesn't
good
mind that.
newspaper article.
Right. Turn him loose.
Yeah, we put bear bells on the dogs and crap.
Anyway, I'm
Right.
pretty
The
frustrated
dogs have
over it
to
all,
stay on the
but
trail. That's a rule.
that's the update.
Yeah, Gates Pond, they have that. Like, there's
Gates
a big.
Pond's technically Hudson's. so
Yeah,
they
I
have
know,
to
but
be
they have a
leashed.
big thing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And Hudson's
Yep.
water source.
Right, so
Yeah.
they're very strict there,
Yep.
but people still don't
Right.
listen to the
Well, I don't
voice.
go.
I think
yeah,
it's
wouldn't.
silly generally, but if it's a dog discovered you, do it. Keep him on a leash.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a vicious dog, and a casual walker doesn't know if it's going to stop. These guys didn't know. They backed up off the trail. And then video number 2, they say, we're just going to let you go by. We want nothing to do with your dogs.
And luckily, the person walking didn't run, because if they ran, that would have probably triggered the dog more.
Could be. But
So,
anyway, so there's stuff going on at 40K. So I don't know.
Yep,
What, I don't
fun
know,
times.
I don't know what to do. I'm frustrated by all this stuff.
Could the police be involved in this?
They wouldn't. You
Why?
know,
It's
They
I
really
mean, they can't be
hard.
out there monitoring this
Right,
stuff.
Right.
Right.
they won't get involved in dirt biking, for heaven's sake. you know,
Right.
If we don't do all the work.
So, anyway, I vented. I'm sorry.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, the thing about
Keep
Saturday,
going. Go. Let it out.
Saturday, there were 2 people under the age of 50. The rest of us were septuagenarians and above.
Right.
What do you can't run from a dog when you.
Right.
Walter, when you get to be my age, you'll understand this.
I wish I was your age. Yeah, right.
Anyway, yeah, if a dog is attacking you,
Shoot it.
well,
You have
I've-
to have a gun with you, though.
Well, that's your first mistake then.
Yeah.
I can't give you all the answers.
All right.
I tell you a story when
I'm
I
not going
was
to shoot a
younger.
dog.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all I have. Anybody else?
I have
Nothing
2
more for
things
me.
on the community.
Oh.
on
Okay.
Okay, so, we got an email from Carol Costello asking
I gotta put that down.
AJ and I could meet on June 12th.
Okay.
At Tohoto to talk about the community service.
Mm-hmm.
And, I got an email from Heather about the summer program.
You forwarded that. I saw
Right.
that.
And it looks like her summer's really, really busy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll be able to do anything.
She did offer a couple of possibilities. I
Right.
think doing an amphibian thing would be
Mhm.
great.
Right.
And if she wants to do it like late June, I think she said she offered something in June.
I thought it was August.
August, right. I think it was on either end because I think July, like,
July is her busy time.
right, July and the beginning of August, she's
Right.
busy. So yeah, I think that would be great whenever she wants to do it, and we'll see what we can get for participants.
Right. She was gonna look at her schedule and let me know when she thought she could be available.
Okay, awesome. And excellent, you guys. So Carol Costello, if you guys don't know, is the superintendent of schools, and they're working. AJ and Louise have been talking to her about some community service stuff for the high school kids. Yeah.
Right. So, she brought in the principal too, to work
Awesome.
on it, yeah. So you're available. I can email her and tell her we can meet.
I just have a hard stop at 3:30.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Was that the porta potty lady that came in?
No, that's
No.
what I thought you were talking
Well,
about.
that
Oh.
so Heather Simpson
Right, I
is
was talking
Yeah,
about both.
both of them.
right.
Yeah.
So Carol Costello is the superintendent. Heather Simpson, who is going to do an amphibian program,
Yeah, yeah.
is the porta potty lady.
Right.
She probably
Okay.
doesn't want to
Yeah.
really be referred
Sorry.
to that way,
Sorry.
but
Sorry.
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We actually do have one other thing, is the next meeting. So because we've been having very light meetings, one of the things we could do is go on a summer schedule and just meet once in June, July, and August.
I'll go along with that.
See you in September.
I second that.
Yeah.
January, February.
Can,
Yeah, right.
Can we just at least discuss June? I'm out of town on the 21st. If we could meet the 14th instead.
14th
Yeah.
works for me,
Of
Is
June?
that
of June.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Please hold.
Whatever.
No,
I don't think I have a
we've
problem.
already agreed to cancel the 7th. So
Right.
I mean, if we had an important issue, we could always call an extra meeting.
If we needed to, yeah.
Right.
mhm,
Right.
true enough. Thank you, Louise.
So,
What was I doing?
calendar.
Yeah. June 14th is
14th.
Flag Day.
It is Flag Day.
Unfortunately, I will be observing Flag Day and unable to attend.
It's also the anniversary of the
Flag Day.
birth of the
It
United
is
States
Flag
Army.
Day. We'll have a little celebration. We'll have little flag cookies.
I'd have to Google what Flag Day is first.
I know. Can you come?
Yeah.
June 14th?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry, I didn't know we were rushing here. So add that.
Yeah, so let's, someone make a motion that we cancel June 7th and June 21st in
7th and 21st.
7th and
14th,
21st,
got you,
and then we
gotcha.
meet, and that we will meet on the 14th. Will
Yep.
be our only meeting in June.
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we cancel this June 7th and 21st and instead meet on June 14th for our meeting. And then go on to our summer session. Can we add that on there? Once a week, once a month?
I'm fine with,
Well, maybe we could amend the motion to just be once a month.
Okay, amend month to month
Yeah.
and starting with the first one, June 14th.
That simplifies it.
Yeah.
So once a month and make it the second Wednesday period? Are there any conflicts with any other commissions or?
I'm gonna grab the calendar right now.
You don't have a say?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Zoning board.
Maybe you're
sometimes
celebrating Flag Day
meets
too.
on, like the second Wednesday, but they do it on Zoom, so.
I'm also not condoning shooting dogs. It's like a very, very last resort, just to clarify. So we don't get yelled at next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
So the room is
Well, you do.
available June 14th. It is available July
Be the 12th then.
12th. And it is available August 9th. If we wanted to have those be the dates that we meet.
So I would move that all meetings scheduled be canceled and we reschedule it one day a month based on the days you just listed.
I second this motion of canceling and reassigning days to the ones you had.
Geez, I'm out of town the 12th of July and Cape Cod on the
So I
9th
got-
of August.
And the 9th of August?
I'm
You said you're out?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we keep it to the 16th in August?
What happened in July?
July 12th,
Okay,
August 16th. So
okay.
it's smack in the middle of the month.
July 12th, 16th.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just one thing, I'm just curious, when we get to the, I did some.
Wait, no, any further discussion about the dates?
Oh,
We have
no,
to vote.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Can I get the last date again? August 14th, is that accurate?
August 16th.
Thank God you're here.
I know. Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye. All right. So, June 14, July 12, August 16. Okay. Now,
what you see as a schedule on this proposed tower on Rattlesnake Hill? It's, because the more I think about it, it's an issue with me to thinking about, I'm not sure, depending on funding and everything else, I'll know which way to go, but I mean, we definitely should have some sort of an executive session so we don't get into one of these, well, I think we should do this, and in front of everybody, we should have an executive session with discussing finances and leasing something, and we should, based on the monetary part of it, financial part of it, we could have an executive session to talk about it.
we could, but I'm until if you want to pull together some information as to what we might expect, but until we know what to expect.
No, I mean, let the guy come in.
Right,
We
yeah.
have the whole discussion.
Yeah.
And then have,
Sure.
before we make up our mind.
Sure. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Good.
Does anybody else have anything? Want to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to end this meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.